So Paulie came out, keeping it 100 bucks on Ryan Garcia, where he stated that he believes Ryan is an average fighter without PEDs. He don't even think he's that good, nor fast, nor strong. He don't even think he has that much power without PEDs. Here is exactly what Paulie had to say. Check it out.
Ryan Garcia was not doping. He's not fast. He's not strong. He's not conditioned. He's not even good. All right, guys. He's not even good. I have been suspicious of Garcia doping since probably the Induno fight. Okay, the Induno fight. I saw that knockout, and it just again, I didn't say, oh, this guy's definitely doping, because you can never really just say that. But there was a certain kind of power surge all of a sudden in Ryan Garcia's career, and it was drastic. It wasn't like he was kind of strong. He was getting stoppages. But the Induno fight where you hit a durable guy and you barely hit him on the top of the head, and he's one leg went one way, one leg went the other way, and he's knocked out in the first round. I was like, man, this guy was never hitting like that. You know what I mean?
You know, this is a really interesting observation by Paulie, because right before the Duno fight, a fight that Ryan at that time was not interested in, he didn't want to fight Duno. Before that, Ryan fought someone named Carlos Morales. You guys can go back and watch the fight. Look at Ryan Garcia's physique. That's when I believe he wasn't on PEDs. In that fight, you can see the real Ryan Garcia. A Ryan Garcia without much speed, power, nor condition. Ryan looked really sloppy in that fight. Carlos Morales pretty much exposed Ryan. You guys can go back and watch the full fight. Carlos Morales was touching up Ryan Garcia the whole night. I mean, he was rocking Ryan Garcia head back, hurting Ryan Garcia in the process. He was winning a lot of rounds against Ryan. And after that fight, a lot of people were questioning if Ryan was ever going to make it to a championship level. That's how bad Ryan was looking against Carlos Morales. Ryan Garcia's speed in that fight was okay. His power was not existent, and his condition was terrible. His timing didn't do him any good because his power wasn't there. Then all of a sudden, he transformed when he fought Duno and fighters after that. That's when Ryan's power and speed increased dramatically, as if he transformed to another level, as if he found a forbidden fruit. That forbidden fruit happened to be PEDs. After the Duno fight, Ryan became a different fighter. His physique became a different physique. Ryan became the Ryan we know today. He became a completely different fighter from the Carlos Morales fight. Physically and ability-wise, his speed became undetectable. His power became unmeasurable. Ryan is able to carry his power all night long. Ryan also improved his chin. He's able to take punches better. When Carlos Morales fought him, he managed to hurt Ryan with a jab. However, now, Ryan has one of the best chins in boxing. He really can take a punch. These are the benefits of PEDs. And ironically, the side effects of PEDs, we see them in Ryan, such as anxiety, etc., etc., etc. Remember when Ryan took some time off for anxiety? Well, that's a PED side effect. Roid rage is also another side effect, and we all saw how Ryan Garcia raged on all of the black people and all the Muslims all around the world, where he said, F all of them. So we've been seeing the side effects on Ryan Garcia. Lastly, even when Tank fought Ryan, Tank was very smart along with his team because they mandated Ryan to take VADA testing for at least 4 months. At that time, Gervonta was suspecting Ryan being on PEDs. So he tricked Ryan. Ryan tried to play Gervonta by taking PEDs off cycle, and he only agreed to all of Gervonta's terms last minute. That's when Gervonta came back proposing a tune-up fight, since they didn't have enough time to promote their mega fight. At least that's what they told the public and Ryan team. However, the real reason behind it was because Gervonta didn't want to give Ryan Garcia any advantage when it came to Ryan cycling off PEDs. He wanted that to get out of his system as much as possible, and that's why he proposed the tune-up fight, and they pushed their fight date even further back. Ryan ended up skipping his tune-up to avoid any type of testing. However, Gervonta beat him to it by forcing Ryan to enroll with VADA, even though Gervonta had another fight lined up against Hector Garcia. Gervonta exposed Ryan for refusing to enroll with VADA, and he even warned him if he doesn't do that, the fight is going to be canceled. The fight is going to go out of the window. That's when Ryan was forced to enroll with VADA 4 months before the fight. This is the reason why when Ryan landed his signature punch, the left hook on Tank, Gervonta ate it. A lot of people, including Tank, try to make it seem like Ryan never landed the left hook on Gervonta, but he did. If you go back and watch the fight, Ryan landed the left hook on Gervonta multiple times. Ryan landed them left hooks clean too on Gervonta. There was a sequence where Gervonta went on the attack and Ryan caught him with the left hook. However, Gervonta ate it, and then he continued attacking. However, when Ryan threw the left hook again, Gervonta slipped it and came back with his counter. In fact, that actually happened twice during the fight. However, Ryan's left hook had no all-strain in it, meaning it had no power in it. At least, not like when Ryan fought Devin. Nowhere close. And that's why Gervonta ate them shots. When Ryan fought Gervonta, his power combined with his speed was nowhere near the level when he fought Devin Haney. Ain't it ironic how Ryan fans always complains about the rehydration clause, claiming that Ryan wasn't the same, but them same fans say that when Ryan missed weight against Devin Haney, didn't give Ryan any advantage. You guys can't have it both ways. These are the same fans who say PEDs didn't give Ryan any advantage against Devin Haney, as if PEDs are not banned for a reason. They are called performance enhancement drugs for a reason. It's within the name. But that's why we call these fans decafs. Therefore, I totally agree with Paulie Malignaggi. Before I found out Ryan cheated, before he tested positive for PEDs, I told you guys I was actually breaking down the flaws Devin Haney made against Ryan Garcia. Dropping his right hand, fighting Ryan without taking angles, while simultaneously throwing a punch, escaping through an angle to his left. I felt Devin fought the wrong game plan. He was standing in front of Ryan too much, and he was following Ryan at times, especially engaging without being ready. When Ryan did the shoulder roll, Devin Haney never froze his left hand and went southpaw to hide behind Ryan's shoulder and hit Ryan with his haymaker left. I was pointing out all of these things that I felt Devin Haney should have did, more importantly, could have did against Ryan. In fact, Floyd Mayweather all of a sudden came out giving Devin Haney the same criticism I was giving Devin Haney for the Ryan fight, for the Ryan performance. It wasn't until Ryan popped dirty for PEDs, that's when all of that didn't matter. Because Devin Haney was fighting a different fighter. He was no longer fighting Ryan Garcia. In order for Devin Haney to win the fight, he had to get ready for Sugar Ray Robinson or Sugar Ray Leonard. Because now Ryan, all of a sudden, thanks to PEDs, that enhanced his ability, his power, his speed, his timing, and everything to a whole nother level since Ryan took so much of it. I mean, he tested positive for PEDs 60 times over the maximum limit, and that was just on fight night. Ryan was carrying a lot of power with every single punch, and he was carrying power to the final bell, which is why you really can't critique Devin Haney to how he fought Ryan. He didn't know he was going to fight a PED version of Ryan that missed weight leading up to the fight. And that's why what Floyd Mayweather said no longer carries weight. Since Floyd Mayweather was making the same mistakes he was pointing out. When Floyd Mayweather was telling Devin Haney on interviews, you was jabbing like an amateur. You got to keep your right hand up when you jabbing. Your form was not right. Your stance was not right. Your hand was not placed in the right position. Yeah, all of that sounds good. That's all good and dandy. But Floyd Mayweather was jabbing the same exact way Devin Haney was. In the pros, Floyd Mayweather was making the same mistakes he was pointing out Devin Haney was making. The only difference is Floyd Mayweather didn't fight somebody on PEDs like Ryan Garcia, at least cheating to that extent. After all, we have no clue how the fight would have had played out when Floyd Mayweather fought Oscar De La Hoya. If Oscar De La Hoya took PEDs like Ryan Garcia and missed weight like Ryan Garcia, we don't know how the fight would have had played out against Floyd Mayweather. That could have had been a totally different fight. Remember, Oscar actually gave Floyd a good fight. Oscar was known for his left hook. If Oscar De La Hoya left hook had some off strain in it, it would have had been faster, quicker, stronger, better timing, and he would have had been better conditioned to where in the final bell he would have had been hitting like he was in the first round. And that's why Floyd Mayweather didn't agree to fight Manny Pacquiao in 2009 without random style drug testing. You see, back in 2009, when Floyd and Pacquiao were prime for prime, Floyd sent Pacquiao $50 million offer with 50-50 split on everything, pay-per-view, gate, etc., etc., etc. The reason why Floyd agreed to all of Pacquiao's demands is because he really wanted to make the fight. However, he only had one demand himself for Pacquiao, and that was steroid testing, random style drug testing. And Pacquiao refused to take the test. So either he was ducking or he was taking PEDs. Either way, Floyd was pretty smart. He didn't agree to fight Pacquiao on PEDs. Even though Floyd has all of the skills in the world, he's arguably the GOAT. He's the MJ of boxing. Even then, he said no to a Pacquiao fight because Pacquiao said no to steroid testing, which is my point exactly. We cannot judge Devin Haney on how he looked against Ryan when Ryan was on the roids and he missed weight. That's not a fair judgment. With the opinions out of the door and the facts laid out on the table, go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Here's the way it works, and I'm sure Chris also understands because Chris partially explained this to me as well. Here's how it works when you're microdosing. So you bigger dose off season, which is not when there's no fights and nobody's getting tested because boxing is the Wild West and doesn't test in between fights. Yep. And then you're microdosing during camp. And when you're microdosing, it is trapped in the fat and therefore not going into your bloodstream. So therefore it's harder to catch you. When a fighter struggles to make weight, sometimes they're losing all that fat and you get a little bit of tricklage coming out of the fat. And the drugs will come out in small spurts. That's why they're always caught in small doses. And people, the moronic part of the population will say, oh, that's not enough to help him. No, that's just the part that finally leaked
It's the leftovers, essentially.
Yes, and because they struggle in weight, which is also a typical thing when you start to think about it, why guys keep moving up in weight. So there's less struggles when they're doping to make weight, and therefore they keep moving up in weight and keep showing no signs of weakening and no signs of aging and no signs of, we don't have to name names. The boxing's rife with it, you know? But nonetheless, now when I started to learn this part, because every single time a guy fails, I'm always asking questions and I'm always learning a little bit more. And this time, when it came to this microdosing situation, it's a big way to beat even the random drug tests because it's not going to show up unless you're really draining yourself. So therefore, it makes sense why guys keep moving up in weight. So Ryan was struggling to make the weight, and he failed right at the end. But he passed in the middle of camp. This kind of explanation is an explanation worth looking into when it comes to his failed B test, B sample. As for the lawyers, they're going to play lawyer and they're going to manipulate it as much as possible and mention that he passed those tests in the middle of camp. Well, I just explained to you in the method that microdosing work why he would have passed the tests in the middle of camp but failed at the very end. Because at the very end was when he was drained. Remember, he struggled to make weight. He was drained, and therefore the substances start coming out, which is also explains why he's now talking about fighting at welterweight, junior middleweight, super middleweight against Benavidez. You also get a little bit of sense of why he would do that as well if this is the case. So once you know how the science of it works, you start to really put things together. You can reach your own conclusions. If you want to be a groupie, you can and reach no conclusions. But I'm the person who's going to keep thinking about and keep thinking about not just fighters now, like Ryan, but also fighters in the past, fighters that have failed, fighters that have not failed, and so on and so forth. Really puts a light bulb over the situation.
Have you had a chance to talk to Saul? To Kyle, Ryan? Have you had a chance to talk to him?
Hey, what if a boxing league? Imagine a boxing league where you can do steroids. That'd be cool.
I think they have. It's called the enhanced game.
No, it's called Pride FC in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah, Pride.
That shit's nuts, huh?
Pride in the contract said you're allowed to use steroids. Hey, that's the only way it's even. Let everyone juice.
I think you've been in the ring with someone that sounds like
Oh yeah. I thought Oscar Duarte was a steroid. That motherfucker is crazy.
Why?
I hit him with some shit.
Yeah.
Bro, this thing.
Terminator.
I'm like, okay, bro. Relax.